Clad Wrigley building. The park on the river is not built, designed by Graham Anderson, Probst and White. That building home. Double-decker Michigan Avenue Bridge of 1920. That spire on top is Chicago's second tallest building. Notice the floors 4 through 12, the parking garage of the building. During evening hours, to these columns rise those tip panels on the corners designed to hide the water tanks that control the original sprinkler system. That dome on top, late 30s, early 40s, is a restaurant and bar called the Stratosphere. Architecture. Let it be Vanderbilt. His very famous motto was less is more. Mies and the Hotel. Mies also designed 860 and 880, North Lake Shore Drive in Chicago, 1949, and the Federal Center Complex now in our loop. As we near State Street, parking is valet. So again, one thing that we want to do around the black reflective glass, and for us to in 2009, it's the site of the parking lot in the 1950s. Around here, the contrast between 2009 modern building next door. A really good example of Chicago school style of architecture, the tripartite design. Tripartite, big component of a base, shaft, capital on top. The base of the building visually anchors the building rises. But completed in 1930, at that time, this was the world's largest commercial building. The Joseph Kennedy. Father, President John Kennedy. They sold the building back in 1998. 2020. Completely fouled out. And while drilling through the walls, they ran out of cork and horsehair. The river has in fact dramatically improved for the last half-century, from being highly toxic to just pollution. Most like 2 to 2.3 million, about 4,000 square feet, gonna have all 4 levels. The background slightly smaller, back to about 3,000 flows. The clearance here is only about 4 feet. We would have to have it manned 24/7. 1908, Chicago Northwestern Railway Company will not be torn down, has been landmarked. At one time, the reason it is so slender, lifetime. Blake Walter on left the 20 years ago, some minor consideration about perhaps the buildings to our right along the river are built at top air rights, and that means the developers bought the air above the train track. In 1972, Skidmore. Short twin for this on the other side never ever got built. Now I know at least a third of the reward. We're talking roughly 2.7 million square feet of space, about most of the land to our left, the bridge above us, to the one in Marina City. If it does, it should. Designed by the same architect, Bertrand Manny's, a really thick corned beef sandwiches, great potato pan, pre-sanitarium, and shipped the I.M. Illinois. Buildings 2, 3, and 4. Ironically enough, Mrs. O'Leary's house survived the fire too. It ain't there today, it did survive the fire. The winds blowing out of the house play. And more recently, gonna have TV shows like Chicago Fire, Transformers 3. There was a violent movie called In This Design 1, submitted by 2 New York architects. To our left, the Apple Store by Foster and Partners of London, 2017. Same location with Jean-Baptiste Produsable, Skidmore, Williams and Merrill. Same team put in Hancock at Sears Tower a few years with architect Dirk Lohan, the grandson of Ludwig Mies Vanderbilt. As we clear Lakeshore Drive to our left coming up, Lake Point Tower, a bit older than many people realize. Built to a restaurant, Northern Out of the Wall. I think it's funny. Kids see a fidget spinner, a north side, bottom white stripe, south side, middle white line, 12 classic 8s.
tricks.